style is, and I thought it was really run very well. I think we'll probably talk about it here as we go along and try to see if there's anything that meshes that we think could change, or something type of things that we could add.
How'd you like the look of the guys you just drafted last
They look,
month?
all these kids look great. Sometimes it's really hard for them to come in here and get comfortable, but I think we did a really good job. I think all of them bonded together. You go in there this last time here and talk to them, and you see what it looks like and how much more comfortable they are from the first day that we got them together. So that's the biggest thing. It's just letting them know that they're going to be a Minnesota Wild in the future.
What's the most important thing that you kind of hope these guys get out of this week?
Well, it's always the teaching aspect. It's how much can we tell them, how much can they grasp, and how much can they take away from this and go apply. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it's always about teaching. It's always about putting it to an application, so that now when they leave here the rest of the summer, they really get to apply themselves the things that they learned.
Still status quo with Zucker and Dumba talks?
Still status quo, still trying to get something done, and hopefully we do before arbitration.
Are you optimistic that could happen, or you never know
I
once you
don't
get
know.
closer?
Everything is, every day is different.
Yeah. We saw that trade last week with all those pieces, but otherwise has the trade market kind of cooled off since it's almost, end of July, or what's your read on
I
it?
think people are always going to talk, and if there's a fit there, I mean, I always talk about the right fit, the hockey fit, and that's probably where I am more than anything. That was a money deal is what that was, and right now we don't have to make a money deal.
It's something, when camp and people start getting closer to getting their rosters fixed up, is that always still, I guess, a time when it could flare up?
Yeah, I think we'll always talk all the way through, no matter what. I mean, the summer, you try to get some time away, but it just seems like it never happens, so we'll continue to talk.
Specifically, as far as some of these prospects out there, and how closely, obviously, you're keeping an eye. Mason Shaw, what did you think about him? And his
I liked his energy. I really liked his energy. I know coming off of last year, having the injury, it doesn't help with a young kid, but to be able to come back and to participate like he did, he looked like he's a hungry player, and for me, that's very important.
Mm-hmm. How about Jack McBain?
I just really like his athletic look to him. I mentioned that they went and did the volleyball. His sister's a college volleyball player. Watching that first day, he actually made an incredible play. One of my sons played volleyball a little bit, so I saw this great play, and I kind of looked and I was like, who was that over there? And then I realized, well, his sister could have helped him as well.
Right.
It's great to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Dmitry Sokolov, what's your overall impression of him following this camp?
Has some great skills, certainly has a great track record in junior, and it's going to be important for him to really apply himself here going through the rest of the summer. He's got to come in great shape in order to really make an impression, and then it's up to us. We've got to take him and bring him to another level.
Jack Sadek's coming into his senior year of college now. What do you like from him for this camp?
Again, just the work ethic, just watching these kids develop is the biggest thing. He's got a big year in front of him, and then, it's obviously decisions to be made.
How interesting is it for you, some of these guys that were drafted by the last regime, but guys I'm sure you scouted during the pre-draft process, to maybe see these guys a couple of years after their names and
Watching this week, it's a great education to see what we have, and I'm looking forward to talking to our people actually after this week, after we absorb everything and see what we have, and projecting our lineups going forward here, not only in Iowa, but here, down the road.
Another new face that got to put the Wild gear on was Dean. Talk a little bit about what it's like to finally bring him in and get him to be part of this group here.
Yeah, I just think him looking at the structure that we have here, it's important for him to have his eyes wide open as well, and it's nice to have him.
Zeb Newston?
He was good.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good. I actually had him in Milwaukee last year, so
Okay.
I was already familiar with him.